All right, guys. Today we have the GameStop earnings call. We're going to do our polls on Twitter and send out a link as we always do. Bullish or bearish on GameStop Q3 earnings report and call. Vote on the poll. Let us know what you guys think. Let me know if you can hear the music. You should be able to hear the music. Expectations are for 29-cent loss per share. 29-cent loss per share. We also have 1.35 billion sales revenue expectations for GameStop. All right, so we'll put the expectations up here. Bullish or bearish, vote on that poll. That is the full expectations. You see GameStop on the right side of the screen here. All right, guys. So again, let me know what you guys think about GameStop. Also going to do a poll as we always do here. Y'all do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button if you have not already. We appreciate it. Still got about 40 minutes before the actual earnings call starts. All right, you guys will vote on our Twitter poll. All right, we're going to send a newsletter out. How do we duplicate templates? Why are my templates gone, man? What? There we go. All right, if you want to sign up to our newsletter, we send newsletters out for all the main stuff here. It's beginnertrading.net/members. There's that link, completely free to join. Doesn't cost a penny. Put this in our Discord. GameStop started to pop up. SPY's been completely neutral and boring today. Just not much action. We're starting to test lows right now, but it's been very, very neutral, very, very chop heavy. We're going to get ready to send this list to everybody on our newsletter here. Check it out. Gamestop at 2250s here, guys. 2250s. Again, let me know what you guys think about this one. And hit that like button while you're in here, guys. We appreciate it. Send this newsletter out. Y'all be ready. There we go. All right, sending the newsletter out now. GameStop started to test the volume weighted average price in the 200 moving average. We'll see if it actually holds there. Sending that out now. Just talked to my buddy at Goldman Sachs. He made fun of me for thinking the SPY can hold 400 in the future. Yeah, I mean, I think we definitely could. Like I said, we're at 395, so that's a very small percentage outside of the, where we're currently at. With that, I mean, it's possible. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but it's possible. So it's possible to happen. I don't know if it's going to. GameStop's starting to pop up a little bit here. We're at 2260s right now, 2260s. Can y'all hear the music? Let me know. You should be able to. GameStop been advertising a lot on YouTube. Yeah, maybe. All right, looking at our poll, we did a poll here real quick. 31 votes already. 68% are bearish, 32% are bullish. GameStop's starting to pop back up though. Look at GameStop; it's up to 2270s, 2270s. Got some votes on Twitter, mostly bullish on Twitter. About 67% are bullish on Twitter, which is kind of what we usually see here, I would say. SPY popping up a little bit. Amazon's doing okay too. I mean, Amazon's up to 8840s. GameStop's starting to rip back up a little bit short term, up to almost 23s here. We'll see if it does. Again, expectations for GameStop are 21 cents. If we look at like the GameStop chart, so this is the macro trends GameStop quarterly growth chart. You can see last time we did earnings, it was, what is that? July? It was July 31st. We dropped earnings. What do we show up as? Growth, we showed up at minus 3.97%. We did 1.136 billion. Where's the EPS? See if I can show the EPS here. We'll keep looking. EPS is the most accurate gauge. It's a gauge on how profitable the company is. And so you can see this from macro trends. The GameStop EPS for the quarter ending July 31st, 2022 was minus 36 cents a share, a 71.43 increase year over year. EPS for the 12 months ending from July 22nd was minus 173, a 683.26 increase year over year. Annual EPS was minus 22. Annual EPS was minus 131 per share, a almost 60% increase. So yeah, GameStop starting to head up though. We'll see if it actually holds. SPY started to move up too. It might be following that. Well, they've got their NFT store. They've got video games. I think GameStop makes some money in terms of like they're making money from selling games. You know, buying them for cheap and then selling them. They're kind of like a video game pawn shop, if you will. You know. Yeah, GameStop earnings call is 5 o'clock. Yeah, but their earnings drop at 4. So their earnings drop in about 30 minutes. So the actual earnings call is at 5, but their earnings actually drop at 4. Their quarter 3 earnings. I think again these are going to be quarter 3 earnings. GameStop popped over the volume weighted average price. We'll see if it actually holds here. You got the SPY on the left. Mostly choppy day. Glad I stepped away and I didn't trade a ton because the market was just not really great since I walked away. It's just very slow. Big money scaling out of Apple and Amazon. Maybe. I mean, Amazon's mostly neutral right now. I think a lot of big money's buying up stuff too, though. What's up, DS? What's up, Spec? What's up, NASCAR? Tesla around descending support. How did Tesla do today? I could look at it. We also have some other earnings dropping today. Let me see what they are. Amazon's not doing that bad. We made some money on Amazon buying the dip. We're up, like I said, we're up about 2 something today on Amazon specifically. Again, just buying the dip mostly. GameStop started to pop. What's AMC doing? We're also holding AMC as well here. AMC got crushed today, man. AMC has had a really, really rough. AMC got up to over $9 for the first time in months. Back on the 1st of December, it has dropped all the way down to $6 a share. 6.10 today. So AMC is getting destroyed the last couple weeks. Can y'all hear the music? You should be able to. Let me know if you can. You should be able to. Less than 15% of U.S. investors think we're going to be able to avoid it. Yeah, I think we probably hit one, but it depends on when. Depends on what the Fed does. Again, next week's going to be such an influential week in terms of like rate hike decisions, CPI, all that stuff. It's just going to be a big week next week. It's important to watch. Okay, so the music's on. All right, Amazon's starting to bounce back some more for me. See if GameStop holds. SPY bouncing back short term. I would normally short this, but again, I'm just going to wait. I don't know what market's going to do here. Amazon almost hit $90 a share. S&P 500 still at 3,900s. Went up to 4,100s earlier in the week, and then basically got rejected. Was a little bit extended from the Jerome Powell press conference. Music is good. All right, cool. But yeah, Amazon ripping up nicely here. Look at Amazon. And we were able to sell some into this big move here for Amazon. We were able to sell some into that. Starting to rip up some. We'll see if it holds. Yeah, so next week we have CPI and the Fed meeting on Wednesday at 2, and then the press conference at 2:30. That'll be a really, really, really big week. It's probably the biggest week we're going to have for market activity in a while, just because the Fed rate hike decision and CPI are both falling on the same day. And so just important to watch. Let's see if GameStop can hold over the volume weighted average price here. All right, guys. So we're up to 88.50s here. 88.50s. What? Sorry, guys. I'm sorry, guys. Weeble is freaking weird, bro. I might have to... Here, let me mute the audio since it's probably coming in all crazy now. Here, hold on one second. I'm going to mute the background. Sheesh, dude. Yeah, Weeble is kind of glitchy. Spot of 500? Yeah, I don't know if Spy's going to hit 500. That's pretty unlikely, I think. Anytime soon, at least. That's pretty unlikely. I hope it does, you know. I hope it does, but I don't know if it will. Yeah, what do you guys think? Let's look at the poll numbers here. So again, we got about 56 votes. 52% are bearish, 48% are bullish. I hope the SPY rips up too. All right, guys, we're at 88.40s here. We got GameStop at 22.70s. Man, AMC, guys, look at AMC, man. AMC has gotten absolutely destroyed over the next 10 days. So, like, Amazon and Apple and stuff dropped. AMC has gotten hit really, really hard over the past few days here. I mean, it peaked after, again, sheesh, bro. Dude, I got Bluetooth headphones hooking up to my phone. Sheesh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the SPY's going to hit 500 anytime soon, you know. I hope it does, but I don't know if it's going to, you know. Yeah, so AMC got absolutely destroyed, man. Look at AMC got absolutely hammered here. Just hit really, really rough. Yeah, I got absolutely destroyed. Now again, I don't know if it's done. I'm still holding AMC too. So I am sitting on a piece of AMC. But we'll see what happens here, you know. AMC got absolutely destroyed. Unlike like Amazon rebounded a little bit today, at least bounced back some. Apple started, you know, to do okay, but AMC just tanked really hard today. Apple's kind of trending negatively with the market too. Amazon's not really red on the day. Amazon's actually technically green on the day. Apple's pretty red. AMC's really red. The S&P 500 is pretty neutral. Tesla specifically is pretty red as well. So Tesla and other stuff are leading the market down. GameStop's doing all right. It's still red on the day. You can see the previous closing price for GameStop is up there at 23.30. 23.30. So again, we'll see if we can press past that level or not. Again, looking at the GameStop earnings thing, If we look at their EPS here, so GameStop's earnings so far in 22 are minus 131 a share. Minus 131 a share. So second quarter earnings, it came in at minus 35 cents a share. GameStop is expecting less, but still expecting a loss in EPS. They are expecting minus 21 cents a share EPS expectations on 1.35 billion in sales revenue expectations for GameStop. So again, they're still expecting a loss per share, but we'll see if we what we show up as here. It'll be fun to watch. And then GameStop actual earnings call is going to be y'all do me a favor. Everybody here, do me a favor. Hit the like button as well. Hit that like button. Run those numbers up. We got at 12 likes right now. We can do better. We can at least have 50. The earnings drop in about 20 plus minutes. Let me see what time exactly the earnings drop. So GameStop earnings drop exactly at 4:05. We also have Sportsman Warehouse. We got C3. Nothing else really big, though. It's a pretty slow day for GameStop. This morning we had Academy and some other stuff. Not really a big earnings week. We got Express tomorrow morning. Honestly, we got a lot of stuff happening. So tomorrow morning, we have jobless claims numbers. Friday, we have PPI. Tuesday of next week, we get CPI. Wednesday, we get the rate hike decision. So the next week of market activity, is going to be absolutely crazy. It's going to be wildly influential. Again, if we see this here, and we can take a look at it. During the Jerome Powell press conference, a lot of people thought that we basically were a little bit overhyped. I made a post about it, but again, you can kind of see during the upside, in my opinion, once we got up to 410s right here, a lot of people thought we were extended, and we were, in my opinion, a lot of people thought we were extended, and we just were. This big move up from during the Jerome Powell press conference had a lot of people thinking that we were extended here. Weird. Weird. I can't get the Epic pin to work. There we go. Is it going to work? No. Weird, dude. Epic pin's not working. Let me refresh this. Let me hit Control-Alt-Delete this. There we go. Turn it off and restart it. All right, but yeah, so basically during the Jerome Powell press conference, he said a lot of what was interpreted as optimistic things. During that, you can see here, we pumped up pretty big during that press conference. We actually hit 410s right here, which again, I thought was pretty extended on the upside. I assumed that we would pull back some, and I made a post about it on Twitter, and we actually did. We started to pull back really, really dramatically here, all the way back down to, 390.99. So basically 391 early this morning. We've mostly been flat today. The market hasn't moved up a ton, but it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next week of price activity and movement here. It's going to be a big, important, volatile few weeks of market trading and activity. All right, so again, market right now, though, is pretty choppy day. I mean, we're not really doing much, not really any trend. You can see the 200 EMA right here, chopping straight through it. The volume weighted, chopping straight through it as well. So we're just not really getting much right now. Not saying we won't have anything moving forward, but right now it's slow. Yeah, we'll see if Cohen comes on the call. He might. I don't know. What are your predictions for this, though, guys? Call or puts, bull or bear? Let me know what you guys think. Again, GameStop still testing the 200 EMA, the volume weighted average price. GameStop starting to dip a little bit here. We're at 2250s right now, 2250s. SPY's still pretty neutral though. I mean, if you look at this, we can put a 5-minute chart up. It's easier for you guys to read. But again, one of the ways we use the volume weighted average price is like if we're chopping straight through it, if the VWAP is chopping straight through it like this, that means we're neutral. And it kind of makes sense because like here's the trend we get, right? And then it just makes basically a rectangle. Just pretty neutral. It's not really doing much. GameStop just popped over the VWAP. We'd love to see it go like that, but it didn't. And now it's kind of dipping back down. So it popped over the VWAP and the 200 EMA. It kind of bounced off of it, and now it's cracking back down. None of this price action means too much. When the earnings are released, if they're better or worse than expected, those are going to influence it more than anything. So, yeah, we'll see what we get on that front, but got to wait for that. Again, we still got about 20 minutes before that data's out. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. All right, guys, 15 minutes before the market closes here. Again, market's been pretty neutral. It's a lower volume day. I think a lot of people are doing holiday stuff. The S&P 500 is still at 3,900s, which is all right. Hopefully we get some good action on that front as well. Again, tomorrow we got jobless claims. Thursday we got Thursday we have jobless claims and continuing claims. Friday we have PPI, which, you know, in terms of inflation, which is kind of the big story right now in markets. In terms of inflation, the Fed really uses PCE, which is the personal consumption expenditures index. But the one that public watches the most, the one that's the most influential over like markets, I would say, is the CPI report. You know, that drops next week. PPI is the other side of CPI. So PPI is producer price index, which is seller or producer inflation, basically. How much prices are going up or down for producers or sellers. That'll be important. That's Friday at 8:30 that drops. So we got some stuff happening this week. But next week's really the big one, you know. Puts buy puts out till February, make money. Yeah, baby. Again, I'm waiting to do anything until next week. Taking any big position. AMC down all the way at $6 here, though. AMC's really been, you know, the one that got hit the most. AMC all the way down to $6. Do y'all think AMC is going to rebound again? We'll see if the SPY bounces back. Tesla all the way down to 170s. Do y'all think that's worth a dip buy right now as well? Is Tesla worth a dip buy? Yeah, let me mute this. Amazon all the way up to 88.40s, almost 88.50s again. AMC testing $6 here. You can see the low of the day on AMC is $6. GameStop here, you know, they do move somewhat in sympathy with each other just because there's so many short squeeze traders involved with these two. But GameStop at 22.50s. Let's look at the poll numbers here. We got 103 votes, 53% are bullish, 47% are bearish. Tesla started to rip back over volume weighted average price. AMC still down there though. S&P 500 still at 39.30s here. We got the SPY that we're watching here. SPY is at 393s. Trying to bounce off that level now on a 1-hour chart. But just really neutral day here. I think a lot of people are just nervous leading up to the Fed meeting next week as well as CPI, which are both falling right around the same point in time. A little dip in GameStop here over the last couple minutes. We're at 2240s right now, 2240s. So again, none of this price action means too much. We want to see it hold over 22, of course, but like none of this means too much until we get the actual earnings come out, which again drop at 4:05 in about 15 minutes. See what happens with GameStop though. Again, expectations are for minus 21 cents a share. There's AMC starting to test 601, so you kind of see them moving with each other. This is while like the market is starting to pop back as a whole. So market's kind of bouncing back a little bit here. All right, guys. GameStop dumping down heavy here at 22.20s now. AMC still right at $6, which is the low of the day, the low of the last couple months, I believe here. Let me look at a 180-day chart. So the low, the last time we were under $6 was about a month ago. So about a month ago was the last time we were under $6. So back under 6 for the first time in about a month. For AMC, GameStop creeping down with it though at 22.50s. Let's see if anything should going on here. The market's not really moving down dramatically here, so this is just kind of taking place right around them. Popping is subjective and relative. You know, some people 1 cent's going to be popping, other people it needs $5 a share, depending on the price. And so if I say the market's popping up a little bit, that doesn't mean I'm saying the market's popping as well. I just said I'm popping up a little bit, which it kind of is. If you look at the SPY, you know, over the last couple minutes, we've been bouncing back after testing lows here. So we were pushing towards these lows and then bouncing back up. And now we're just kind of consolidating up there. So we'll see what we do. Huge coming SPY at 500 by New Year. We'll see, bro. $500 is pretty excessive for the SPY. I mean, I know people want a Santa rally, but we'd have to go up over $100 a share, about $107 a share for the SPY to hit that. I think that's very unlikely. And I'm a big bull, and I want the market to go up. But that's, you know, I'm not saying it's impossible, but that's unlikely, I would say. The SPY to hit, you know, the SPY hitting 500 a share, that's unlikely, in my opinion. My time is off. Is the call in 8 minutes, 68 minutes, or the call is in 68 minutes? The actual earnings report that drops the EPS data. So the actual earnings report with the earnings data comes out at 4:05, which is in about 15 minutes, a little bit less than 15 minutes. The earnings call is then going to be streamed at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're going to stream the entire call here live, like we always do. So yeah, but that's how it works. So basically, when companies release earnings, they release the actual EPS or the actual results of those earnings right after the closing bell, which is at 4 p.m. in 7 minutes. So you know, we'll get the EPS and the sales revenue and you know stuff like that after the closing bell. And then an hour after that, we're going to have the actual earnings call that starts. Again, vote of the poll. Let me know if you're buying the dip. Yeah, all good. We got about 120 votes. 55% are bullish, 45% are bearish. We're starting to test 22s. Let's see what AMC does here. AMC bouncing at 607s. Tesla started to rip up. SPY still at 393s though. So let's see if we can hold $6 for AMC. Let's see if we can hold 22 for GameStop. Tesla started to pop back up a little bit. It's at 174s. All right, 604s again, guys. We got about 10 minutes or so until the actual earnings are released. About 10 minutes. All right, so GameStop's still at 2213s. I'm buying the dip. Went short on GameStop 22, looking great so far. Hey, good luck, man. Yeah, thanks, Pawn. All right, so GameStop popping up to 2230s. We got 4 minutes before the closing bell and still a little bit longer than that before the actual earnings. If it beats earnings but with negative EPS, can the stock still recover? Well, I mean, beating earnings would not mean negative or yeah, so actually you're right. So probably so if the company comes in, if the EPS comes in better than expected, even if it's still negative, the stock will probably go up depending on what the sales revenue is. So it depends. So again, if the company drops a good EPS report, like better than expected, although it's still negative, it'll probably still go up. But most of earnings are all relative to expectations. And so a company could lose $100 million or be wildly in the negative in terms of EPS. But if they thought they were going to be worse than that, then, you're still usually going to get a positive reaction and vice versa. And so it depends on what the expectations are, not necessarily what, like, if it's in the negative or positive. I mean, the negative or positive matters, but it's mostly based off of expectational numbers, if that makes sense. All right, so it needs expectational numbers. It needs better than expected, which we'll see. Who knows? All right, guys, about 2 minutes left before the actual closing bell. Any tips on trading Forex for beginners? Just be careful, trade small. I got about a minute before the closing bell, but the actual earnings report is not going to go live for another, 7, 8 minutes here. So we still got some time before the actual thing goes. Yeah, I don't know. GameStop right now, I mean, it's pretty sideways on the day. It's down some on the day. But I mean, again, you don't know what it's going to do. It could do anything. Might go sideways. It could be neutral. It could be on par with expectations. Like it might just drop neutral responses. All right, less than a minute before the market closes. I do that already. I have no choice. Well, that's the right move. If you're doing that, you're doing better, than most people. Because like that's the hard thing to do is to be neutral. All right, guys. So here's the closing bell. Market's starting to pull back a little bit. If we look at the SPY here on the left, SPY started to creep back up over the 200 EMA. We got Amazon moving up a little bit as well. All right, so here's the closing bell, guys. We still got 5 minutes before the actual earnings drop, and we'll cover the earnings call as well. All right, getting a little retracement on the market here. There's the closing bell. We're also going to put it in sub-only mode, guys. So if you have not already, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate it. All right, so GameStop at 2230s here. We still have some time. Everybody announce yourself. Show us that you're subscribed. We appreciate it. Five minutes before the actual earnings. 5 minutes before the actual earnings report is released. A little bit less than that, actually. What's up, Snow, Kieran, DS? Hey, thank you guys for subbing. Rick, thank you, bro. We appreciate it. Yeah, like I said, a little bit slow for an earnings stream, but my guess is probably because a few different things. The first one is that GameStop and AMC have not been doing great. Like, they have not been doing great. I hope they go up, of course. But they have not been doing great. AMC, on the other hand, has been getting pretty close to lows of the last month here. It recently tapped $6 a share. If you look at AMC on the left side, AMC all the way down to 606 in pre-market. So not been doing the best, but still been doing some things. And again, I think probably just less interest in these meme stocks. Yeah, they're losing money right now. They're expecting a minus 21-cent loss per share. So just to put it into perspective, EPS is a gauge on profitability. If earnings miss, do you think it would reach 20s? It could for sure. I mean, it depends on what they show up as. It depends on how much they're missing or gaining here is really what it depends. How much they're making or losing is what it ultimately depends on, Yeah, the whole market's been doing pretty rough as well, to be fair. Very true. Camping and fishing, very true. The whole market's been doing rough, dropping big. Again, market's been pretty extended, though. Like, if we look at the last couple of days, the market's been pretty rough. But if you look at after the Jerome Powell press conference, the market ripped all the way up to 410s, and again, we talked about it being a little bit extended, and it definitely was. You can see after that, we just kind of started dipping down really, really heavily since then. And honestly, if you look at when I told you guys the market was extended, which was, we can even look at my tweet here. We said the market was extended on December 1st at 8:34 in the morning, market time at 8:34. So that would be right around here. We said the market was extended basically right here. And if you zoom out here, I mean, I could not have been more correct. Market started to pull back drastically after that. The question is, do we rebound back here? We've had a few really big red days, and then today we're break even. So we had the 5th of December was red. Monday was red. Tuesday was red. Today is neutral. Will we bounce back here is another huge question to ask, and I'm not sure. Hey, nice, Kieran. All right, guys, we got a couple minutes before the actual earnings call, or before the actual earnings drop as well. We're at 293s on the SPY. We'll see if we bounce back. Still got a little bit of time. I have a feeling they over-exaggerated the earnings report on purpose to drag the price. Maybe. GameStop to 70. We got less than a minute, guys. Real quick, tell me what you guys think we're going to get for this. How do you think the market's going to react as well? Oh, my bad, guys. I don't have the music playing. The music's been playing this whole time. I had it muted. My bad, team. We're at 393s. All right, let's get ready, team. Earnings should be dropping pretty soon. We got GameStop earnings ready. Up to 2250s in pre. It'll be horrible earnings, big drops. We'll see. Here we go. 10 seconds for the actual earnings report drops. 10 seconds. We'll see what we show up as. I mean, we can do anything here, but all right, there's the point of release. It's dropping down pretty substantially leading up to this. All right, GameStop posted a third quarter, a loss per share of 31 cents. So 31-cent loss per share on GameStop. Much larger than expected. 31-cent loss per share, sales revenue of 1.19 billion. 131 loss, or a 31-cent loss per share on 1.19 billion. They expected, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, expected 21-cent loss per share on 1.35 billion. So they came in noticeably worse than expected. We're gonna put this number up on chat. 31-cent loss per share. 1.19 billion in sales revenue, so less everywhere, and GameStop is a dropping right now. They are dropping pretty sizably here. We'll put those numbers up on screen, but they are dropping pretty sizably on this. Big drops, guys, big drops. Wow. Starting to rebound back up though here. Look at GameStop popping back up here, back up to 22s, and then the dropping starting again. It's back at 22s. That is the earnings report. We got almost 500 people here. If you could take the time, hit the sub button, hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. Yeah, very strange action. Look at this. GameStop starting to pop back here for a split second. Let's see if it actually does. At 2230s right now, 2230s. All right, so sales attributable to new and expanded brand relationships are strong in the quarter. Sales in the collectibles category remain strong on a year-to-year basis. Selling, general, and administrative expenses were $387.9 million, or 32.7% of sales, compared to $421.5 million, or 32.5% of sales in the prior quarter. SG&A's percentage of revenue was down on a sequential basis from 34.1% in quarter 2 of this year, reflecting the company's ongoing cost reduction efforts. So basically, they're trying to help their margins here. They're trying to help their margins, and so, you know, they're kind of messing with everything there. Inventory was $1.13 billion at the close of the period. Cash and cash equivalents were about $1.042 billion. I guess all of this stuff is making them a little bit more optimistic, but yeah. AI? I think AI is already out. I know AI is not out yet. AI will release their earnings. And if we get enough people that stick around, we'll stream the full earnings call as well. It depends. Let me check about AI. So AI drops theirs at 4:25 Eastern Standard Time. So 4:25. GameStop's still holding at $22. So GameStop's still holding at $22. Back up to 22.50s. GameStop's starting to pop, going green. Let's see if it does. So we're at 22.50s right now. Let's see if we break that. At 22.20s. Yeah, it's holding pretty strong. 22.20s. Yeah, shareholders are holding it. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we get here. Again, I don't know what we're going to get. We'll have to wait and see. The actual earnings call is not for another 50 minutes or so. Depending on what kind of numbers we get, we'll stream the earnings call as well. We're at 22.20s. Let's see if we can hold over 22. I think 22 looks like a pretty big level here. $22 looks like a pretty sizable level. SPY starting to dip at 393s. Let's see if we hold this. What do you guys think? Will it hold $22? There's 22.20s. Interesting. At 2220s, let's see if we get back over you see the volume weighted average price of the 200 EMA at 2250s or so. So if we can get over those two levels, that's a pretty optimistic sign. Again, I'm not saying we're going to hold those levels, but I think that's an optimistic sign if we can. Yeah, it might be flat overall. We're starting to dip down a little bit. There's 22 now, so we're testing that $22 level. It's popping back up at 22, so we're trying to hold. We're kind of neutral from this. I mean, we didn't really react in any huge way for GameStop. We're at 2220s. DRS number, and then we have AI at 425 that we can cover as well. I'm holding 436 shares at 22.90. Glad I didn't get wrecked right away. Yeah, I mean, you're so far we're okay here. We're at 22 bucks. Again, let's see if we hold that number here. We're at 22.20s now. Again, $22 seems to be a support level that we can pay attention to. And so it'll be interesting to see. All right, there's back up to 2250s. All right, we're up to 2250, over 2250. Yeah, so we're over 2250 again, guys. I mean, listen, we for what the earnings actually were, we're not really doing that bad here. We're not really doing that bad. Um, we're up to 2260s. We might even go green on the day from these earnings report. At 2260s right now too. Again, let's see if we hold. We're testing the volume weighted average price and the 200 EMA right now. $22.50 consolidating around the $0.50. Volume weighted average price is right there also, pulling back a little bit too. All right, so we're trying here. Pulling back a little bit underneath the volume weighted, pulling back under the volume weighted average. Popping back up to 22.50. You can see the previous closing price is right at 23.39, 23.39. Let me know if you guys think we're actually going to hold that level here, which I'm not sure if we will or not. Who knows? I don't know what we're going to get now either. Testing 22.50. Again, chat, you guys holding this? What are you guys doing? Back up to almost $23 here. Back up to almost 23 bucks. Now we're rejecting at 23 all the way back down to 22.35s, 23.40s here. And so again, I think a big influential sign, like kind of like a milestone sign, is if we hold over 22.70s. If we hold over 22.70s, I think that's a great sign. Again, I'm not sure if we will or not, but I think it's an optimistic sign if we do. We'll see if we can, you know. Bear with me for a second. Testing, we're right at the neutral level of the volume weighted average price and the 200 EMA. All right, guys. So we're starting to dip down. We got the music playing. Let me know if you can hear the music. You should be able to. We're also going to change the stream. At 2230s, 2230s. No reason for it to hold otherwise. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, again, we might not. I don't know what we're gonna do. Again, I think that considering what the actual EPS was, as well as the sales revenue, I think we're doing okay. You know, I think considering what everything was, I think we're doing all right. You know, I think we could be interpreting or we could be reacting a lot worse than this, I guess is basically what I'm saying. And again, I don't know if we're going to hold anything or anything like that, but we could be a lot worse right now. And so, again, I think we got to be optimistic and hopefully got to be happy that we're not just dumping down because those are, you know, those weren't the best EPS numbers, but it looks like the shareholders are kind of staying strong here, which is good. Good thing to see, you know. Again, let me know if you guys think it'll hold. Where do you think this will be in the next week? We could do another poll. Let me know if you want to do another poll here. We could. $22.50s. Under 20. Google told me minus 28 EPS was the expectation a few minutes before close. Where did you get the minus 21 number you stated earlier? Well, Matthew, it's all these expectational numbers are all coming from analysts, and so there's no right or wrong one. They're all basically, you know, there's going to be a bunch of different ones floating around. A lot of people use the average of all of them combined together, but it's not like one's right or one's wrong. There's just kind of a accumulation of different analyst expectations that we put together. What I was showing on my end on Earnings Whispers, what I was looking at was 21 cent loss per share, but you know, other places show 27. I saw some places show 28, and so it just varies depending on what the source is you're looking at. You can hear the music, right? All right, so we're under the volume weighted average price. All right, we're back down to 2230s. All right, so now we're starting to come back a little bit. Let's see, $22 seems like a reasonable support level. All right, so we're still consolidating. SPY's kind of breaking down in pre-market. I mean, we had pretty much a neutral day. We showed 31 cent loss per share. Some people were expecting 29 cents. So, yeah, the call starts in about 40 minutes. Volume weighted average price is what the VWAP is. Volume weighted average price. Yeah, so again, we're holding pretty well after the big drop initially. So we dropped all the way down to 21.11, and then we basically rebounded back up. We're kind of right under the volume weighted average price, 200 EMA. Didn't really get a big reaction that some people wanted from this, though. Again, we'll stream the full earnings call live as it happens. It starts in about 40 minutes. Back up to 2250 test. We're just kind of prepping, getting ready for the actual earnings call. See if Ryan hops on there. He might. I don't know. All right, back up to 2250. So let's see if we hold these numbers. All right, so the SPY moving up a little bit. We'll see if it actually drags GameStop up with it. All right, so SPY bouncing up to 393s here. Again, we're kind of sitting back. We still got about 30 minutes before the actual data comes out. Are you buying Disney at 92? I might. I don't know. Depends. All right, again, earnings call starts in about 30 minutes. We're just kind of hanging out waiting for it to start. A little bit slower of an earnings stream today, but that's all right. Oh, I could buy Disney. Let me look at Amazon here. Amazon's up there, but I mean, we'll see. We're very neutral on the day here. If you look at the SPY, we're sideways. If you look at GameStop, we're pretty sideways too. GameStop was 27.5 Monday. The miss in earnings is probably already priced in. Reason for not much moving, my guess. Yeah, I mean, I think probably the overall activity and interest in GameStop is dwindling a little bit. So I think we got people holding it, but I just think that it's probably pretty neutral right now. Hey, we're at 2240s. We'll see, but slow. With good PPI, can we rally back to Powell's last speech? We could. I'm not saying we will, though. I don't know if we can. I don't know if we're going to or not. Could we? Yes. Will we? No idea. I mean, we really don't know what we're going to do. Y'all do me a favor. Hit the like button. Let's try to break 100 likes if we can. We also have the actual earnings call, which, again, does start soon in the next 30 minutes or so, and we'll stream it. Let me pull this up. SPY at 393s. See if we can hold. GameStop started to dip down again. $22 seems like a reasonable support level to watch. Remember, guys, we got a lot of stuff happening next week. This week might be kind of slow, but next week we got a lot of stuff going on. We got PPI this week, which will be big. I mean, that'll influence the market some. How much? We don't really know. We'll see. Go, got this set up. $393 on the SPY, still pretty slow. I mean, again, the whole market's probably, yeah, a lot of people talking about the Santa Claus rally. We'll see if we get one or not. I don't know. Again, I don't know. We got 30 minutes before the actual earnings call, guys. Starts at 5 p.m. Y'all be ready. That up here. Let me put the EPS in front of it though, so we get some data here. What's happening tomorrow? Is there any news or numbers? Yeah, there's jobless claims numbers tomorrow. So there's jobless claims and continuing claims. Those will be influential. Is AMC planning on filing for bankruptcy? I don't know. I really don't know in that way. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, just to show you kind of what the markets have done here, guys. Here's a 10-day chart, right? So here's a 10-day chart. This is basically what's happened. All right, so the last couple days, the last couple weeks here, there's a 30-minute chart. We'll put a I guess we'll keep this chart up. So again, here is a 10-day, 30-minute chart. Last week, we had Jerome Powell's press conference. During that press conference, the market moved up pretty big here. So you can see during that press conference, we popped up nicely from it. Now, I don't think anybody really thought we would actually hold these gains. Again, I even talked about it on Twitter. Nobody really thought we were going to hold these gains. And so sure enough, we didn't. So we pushed up from the Jerome Powell press conference. He basically said some optimistic things. Since then, we've basically turned back around and started to kind of get much cheaper here. With that, the question now is, do we turn around? We did tap 390. If you look at the broader trend, like if you look at a daily chart here, number one, we're obviously on like a longer term downtrend here. We're obviously on a longer term downtrend. You can see that downtrend right there. If we zoom in a little bit, we can see that we're arguably in a short-term uptrend. So we've been in a short-term uptrend. You can kind of see the trend we drew right here. And we've mostly been consolidating in that trend for a while now. So there's the trend. Now the question is, do we bounce at the bottom of this? So here's the bottom. The bottom is right around 390s, right around where we are now. We're slightly above that. But the question is, do we bounce back up? And do we do something like this where, we went up, we pulled back to the bottom of the trend? Do we go back up and continue going like this and continuing in that trend? I don't know. I really don't know what we're going to get in that way. I really don't know. We'll see. But that's the thing to pay attention to, I think, is that's the trend we're in. No idea if we're going to stay in that trend or not. Long-term downtrend is definitely there as well. So, those are all things to kind of understand and consider here. Long-term downtrend, will we stay in that trend? I don't know. Nobody really does here either. Also, guys, remember, Top Step, if you want to day trade at the futures market, you can trade the SPY. We're looking at the SPY, the broader market. You can day trade the futures market in Top Step. And what they do is they fund traders, right? So they give you a demo. If you want to test your skill and you don't want to risk a lot, maybe you don't have a lot of money and you want a way to trade and day trade specifically, but you don't have 25K, you can try out Top Step's funded account program. What they do is they give you a demo. If you can hit the target on the demo while following their rules and conditions and pass both phases, then they fund you between 50 up to 150,000 with a 90% split, regulated by the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, pay out millions, fund thousands of traders a year, the most legitimate funded account program in the world. Right now, they got 30% off. So you can get their base one for 115 bucks. Resets are 50% off as well. So if you're ever going to try to swing in something like that, now's kind of the time to do it here. Here's the link if you want to check it out. You can try it out again, get 30% off. Biggest sale of the year really is going on right now. CEO talks too much and just sits around all day. The question is, what does GameStop do? You can find that link in the description. You can also see it in the chat. Again, the big question is, what does GameStop do? How do they pivot their business strategy? That's the real question. How do they pivot their business strategy? Here's the truth of GameStop, right? Here's the reality of it. Within 5 years, physical video games will be obsolete. And so they're going to lose their revenue from buying and selling games for the most part, unless they do some type of deal with these video game companies, which is possible. They're going to miss out on that revenue. Where do they pivot their business strategy in that way? Because again, over the last 10 years, we have been transitioning to a digital download video game space. Nobody's really buying physical copies of video games. I know every time I say this, I buy physical copies, and that might be true, but you're an outlier if you do. I haven't bought a physical copy of a video game in 10 years for my son or for myself. I got an 8-year-old, a 13-year-old, and I play video games also. We haven't bought a physical copy of a video game. The last time was probably a few holidays ago. But that's the real question is, how do they pivot their business strategy? They're going to miss out on that business. And I think they're doing the right thing. Like, they created their NFT marketplace. But the real question now is, like, what does that look like moving forward? Like, what does their business strategy look like? Over the last couple earnings releases here, let's look at their actual EPS chart. If we look at Benzinga, for instance, here, if we look at their financials on Benzinga, let's see what their income statement looks like. Let's see what their net income looks like. All right, so their last EPS, if we look at Benzinga, they showed minus 31 cents a share. Last time they showed minus 35 cents a share. The time before that, they showed minus 52. The time before that, they showed minus 47. Right, so the last 4 reports here, they have been trending better. Again, they started the fourth quarter off, they reported it in March of this year. They showed minus 47% EPS, right? The next one they did minus 47, or next one they did minus 52. The next one they did minus 35, and then this one they did minus 31. So it looks like they might be trending in a good direction here because their EPS is getting a little bit better and better each quarter, basically. And so that's good. But like, what does this look like? Like, what does a successful GameStop business look like in the future? That's my real question. Again, I'm not trying to rag on them. I'm not saying anything negative. It's just a genuine question that I have. What's the future of GameStop look like? Chat, maybe you guys know better than I do. I know they have their NFT marketplace and all that stuff, but that's the real question. Like, what does the future of GameStop look like? What does their business operations look like? You know, that's the real question. And chat, you're more than welcome to help me out and answer that. Again, I know they have their NFTs. Does it involve crypto? Does it involve an online store? What does it look like? "25 minutes, guys." So Aaron Judge re-signed with the Yankees, huh? Non-video game merchandise just bought a Pikachu layup. They will be the conduit for people interested in licensed merchandise from game developers. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I mean, Funko Pops, video game merch, video game toys, video game, stuff. Like, that makes sense, just not games. But I mean, here's the truth, though. They're already doing that, right? And so if they're not making money now selling video games, which is probably the majority of their business, maybe not, then what are they going to look like without it? When they rely solely on merch, which they're already selling. That's the real question there. And again, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm a genuine question. Vintage games is an option. Vintage games is an option, but there's already a bunch of vintage game stores around. I think you got to, if I was them, I'd pivot to like rare cards, rare collectibles, and stuff like that. Like, here's the thing. I took my son to buy an expensive Pikachu or expensive Pokemon card at one of the comic stores here. And they got like their own gaming arena for like Magic the Gathering, for like Pokemon. They sell rare cards. They got comic books. They sell gaming and like culture merch, stuff like that. That could be an option for GameStop. Yeah, all good, Sky. No worries. Yeah, Aaron Judge, $360 million deal. I don't like it. If I'm Judge, I wouldn't take it. If I'm Judge, if it was me, I'd take that in a heartbeat. No, don't get me wrong. But if I'm Judge, I'm not taking that. You know why? It's because it's way more expensive to live in New York. He's getting less than DeGrom. DeGrom just signed with the Rangers on $185 million 5-year contract. So Judge is getting less than DeGrom in a much more expensive place to live. Rent's way more there. So if I'm Judge, I'm not taking that. I want more, but maybe not. I don't know. The cards, comic, vintage stuff might be the best route. It seems like they're going the way of, I don't know. We'll see. I hope they can do it. Again, the NFT marketplace was a good idea. They just got bad luck in timing with regards to like, the whole crypto industry. Just, did pretty rough, man. And just bad timing, Create an app like Steam? For sure. I demand at least, if it's a 9-year deal, I demand at least 410, I would say. That's going to give them roughly 40 mil a year, which is good. It's super high, but with Judge breaking records, I guess the reason they're not giving him more is because of how he performed at the very end of the year in playoffs. GameStop starting to rip back up here. We're at 22.18s. Yeah, but if they create an app like Steam, they're still going to run into competition heavily, you know, with Steam specifically, like competition in Steam, you know. And remember, guys, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We do have jobless claims numbers tomorrow. We've got PPI Friday. Yeah, Pokemon. Yeah, 100%. Earnings are already out. You can see the earnings on the bottom of the screen. The actual earnings call will be streamed live here starting in about 19 minutes. We'll stream the call live. 19 minutes. Yeah, what's up, Daniel? Yeah, if Amazon wasn't around, GameStop would be killing it. I don't see GameStop existing. Yeah, they got to pivot their business model for sure. They got the following of people, right? So they got enough people that are interested in them, like as a following. But the business model that they're currently in is not going to survive the next 10 years. Like, that's just the truth. I'm not hating on it. I'm genuinely, like, you know, I'm not hating on them. This is just the truth, you know? And so with that, like, with that, what do they do? What does their business model look like? All right, we're at 22.30s right now for GameStop. 22.30s. I burnt myself cooking tater tots yesterday. I'm sorry to hear that, Daniel. That sounds terrible. Yeah. I burn myself like all the time, bro. Most of the time making pancakes. Freaking pancakes, bro. GameStop starting to come back up. It's at 22.50s. Let's see if it'll break. SPY's still neutral. GameStop starting to creep back up, though. It's actually reacting positively from this earnings report, though. All right, there's the volume weighted average price of the 200 EMA. Let's see if it actually holds those spots. Again, sub to chat. We're going to stream the entire earnings call live here as we always do. Sub to chat. What's up, DS? Bro, if I see another 13-year-old trying to pretend to be a millionaire trading stocks, like, bro, like, who buys this? Like, who actually believes these guys? Right? They're just selling you courses. They're trying to make money. Like, it's fine if you're realistic, right? But don't claim to be making, like, you know, like, if just because you had one 10K trade doesn't mean you make 10K a week. You know what I mean? Like, that's the reality of it. And I see so many of these scammers online. I'm not saying Amazon retail will fail, but I chaos of Prime to the expense not being worth it. The pendulum will swing back to people wanting in-person retail experience for niche sectors. Nah, I disagree. I disagree heavily. Listen, I'm a parent, bro. Like, right, I got 2 kids, okay? If you think I want to be out shopping at a freaking Walmart store right now for their gifts, y'all are crazy, dude. You know? Like, it's not like it's like, hey, I could order this from Amazon and get it tomorrow at my doorstep without having to go anywhere. But like, I miss interacting with people. Let me just buy this. Let me instead go walk around a really crowded and aggressive shopping experience for 3 hours to get these gifts. No way. That'll never happen. Amazon's gonna thrive. Amazon did what Rockefeller did. All right. So basically, back in the day, Rockefeller created a monopoly, right? Eventually, Roosevelt had to come in and stop him from doing so. But that business move has been copied by all the major business people of the last century, really, since it happened. It's specifically Bezos with Amazon. What they did was they started a shipping business. You know, what Rockefeller did, eventually Rockefeller got tired and cut out the middleman. Amazon did the same thing with their trucks, right? Amazon has become so efficient at shipping and selling products and then shipping them to consumers, and so efficient that every person in the world, every person in the US essentially is using Amazon right now. And so that's just the reality of it. Again, what I do agree with what you said, though, is you said niche retail. That might be true, I guess, because, you know, you go buy a niche product, you know, you might want to go talk to an expert regarding the product or talk to the same people you're passionate about in that way. That makes sense, right? But that's not enough to hurt Amazon in any significant way. Because most things are niche. That's exactly what niche means, is obscure. You know, it's so Amazon's gonna be fine long term because again, they own the market. I will say we did an Xbox PlayStation giveaway on our Discord or on our Twitter account, and we bought the good dude an Xbox from Walmart. He literally got it same day. So Walmart's getting up there with Amazon, though. I will say that. Like we bought a Xbox One. Again, Irish Buddha won the Xbox giveaway, and he chose. I was going to send him a gift card for GameStop or Best Buy or whatever. He wanted the actual Xbox, so I ordered that man an actual Xbox. Xbox Series X, brand new, got it shipped to his doorstep same day. It arrived. I ordered that thing at like 1 o'clock yesterday. It arrived by like 6 my time. So Walmart's gotten pretty good at shipping as well, but I still don't think they're going to really compete with Amazon in that way. I think too many people are used to using Amazon. It's becoming a normal, everyday part of people's lives, and so Amazon will be fine. All right, guys, we got about 12 minutes before the actual earnings call starts. All right, so GameStop's still consolidating right around the same levels. We dropped all the way down to 2180s, 2170s. We'll see if we pop back now. What is your net worth? What percentage is in GameStop? Not a lot. Not a lot of my net worth is in GameStop, no. And if you're insinuating that it's reasonable for anybody to put a large percentage of their net worth in GameStop, no offense, but y'all probably don't have that much money. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but like putting a huge percentage of your net worth in GameStop, even if you're super confident in it, regardless of how much I'm a GameStop bull. Don't get me wrong, but am I going to stick a huge percentage of my net worth in GameStop? Absolutely not. That's just not a smart financial decision. I don't care how you twist it. So I hope it goes up, but I'm not putting 30% of my net worth into again, like I said, the real question with GameStop is over the next 10 years, video game downloads are going to be almost purely digital. People aren't going to sell physical copies of video games right now, or in the next 10 years. It's already mostly, it's already skewed way towards digital downloads currently. And over the next 10 years, it's going to go completely to digital downloads, to the point where you see like Xbox is now being sold that don't even have a disc drive. All right. Where is GameStop going to pivot? I think a really smart move for GameStop, again, would be to pivot towards, they could pivot towards comic book, rare collectibles, and card aspect. I think they could create like Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, stuff like that, arenas. I think they could bring in sports memorabilia as well. I think they could add that to their repertoire, so to speak. And I think that would make sense. They did the NFTs, the NFT marketplace. The only problem with it is that crypto basically crashed this year. So bad timing in that regard from their NFT marketplace. But I think there's a lot of things they could do. My question is, what do they choose to do? But they got to do something. Just being objective here, as objective as I can be. Their current business model is not going to work long term. It's just not. People don't buy physical video games anymore. Huge part of their business historically has been buying and selling used games. And that's not really going to be a thing once people start, digitally downloading almost all of their games like they are now. So with that, they got to pivot. Question is, what do they pivot to? They can do online. That would be the natural choice. Something like Steam would make sense. There's going to be some competition there. It's going to be a tough road up, but it's possible. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen. Yeah, consoles. They could always sell consoles. That's 100% true. Yeah, and again, I'm going to be real with you guys for a second. Daryl, we cover all the major. You sound like a boomer. What do you think the NFT marketplace is for? Digital ownership, owning your digital assets, being able to resell your digital purchases. Sure. Yeah, I mean, listen. Right now, GameStop's losing money. I hope GameStop goes up, but I don't think just sitting around patting each other on the back, acting like GameStop's current business model is sound right now is a great idea. I think we have to speculate on what they're going to do in the future and what that looks like. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That doesn't make me a boomer. I think the smart people, regardless of how much you want something to happen, always consider both aspects of it. Yeah, again. So I don't think sitting here talking about and speculating on what GameStop's move might be outside of what they're currently doing is a bad or wrong thing. It's not, that's silly. Don't be emotional. Is hosting online gaming an option like Twitch? That's a possibility. I think GameStop, again, what GameStop has is they have the following to help it succeed. Somebody else said, again, rare collectibles is smart. I think rare collectibles is smart. NFT marketplace obviously makes sense, but again, it depends on what the NFT sector looks like. Crypto's rough, a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt going on right now in NFTs and crypto as a whole. And so, that's a good idea. Their marketplace is doing okay. It's not doing the best. It doesn't have the best numbers, but it's doing all right. That's a possible, revenue source in the future. But, in my personal opinion, they're going to need more than that. And I don't think shaming or attacking anybody that has reasonable questions about GameStop is like a healthy thing. I think confirmation bias is incredibly strong. And so I understand why people don't want to talk about any of this stuff. But I think it's important to understand. Again, GameStop has been losing money every quarter for the last... let me see. Let me see the earnings chart. All right, so yeah, GameStop has had a negative EPS all the way back since March of 21 was the last positive EPS that GameStop has had. And so again, the question is, what are they going to use to bring them revenue? And it's a good question. It's not a bad question to ask. Ryan is smart enough to not to tell his all what his plans are. Yeah, 100%. GameStop. I mean, I don't know. I think one of their Daniel says GameStop should close their brick and mortar stores and just go streaming. I think that's an option for sure. But I think one of their big things is like, okay, like I said, I got an 8-year-old son who's all into Pokemon. Right? I was into Pokemon when I was young, and I still kind of like Pokemon to be honest. And so whenever he did well in school, I went and bought him like a $300 Charizard, PSA graded 10 Charizard, Japanese Charizard is what it was. And so the whole point was to try to, get him excited about investing into things. But when I went to this comic store, they had like a Magic and Pokemon and card arena. They had rare collectibles. They had pop culture stuff. They had comics. I think GameStop's future could look like that as a franchise, as well as opening up, and I think that's probably what they're going to do. They'll still sell consoles. I think if they can, here's the aspect of it. I think if GameStop can be one of the more reliable places to get consoles, especially the new consoles when they come out, there's been a lot of problems with finding consoles, and it's an intentional thing from the gaming companies because, they're trying to influence demand. But I think that if GameStop can be seen as like the most reliable place to get consoles when nobody else has them, and if they can work out some type of deal with the actual gaming companies, I think that would be a smart move. And yeah, I trust Ryan. I think Ryan's a really smart dude. So I'm not ragging on them at all. I'm speculating on what their future could look like. Hey, what's up, Alamon? All right, guys. So yeah, we got 3 minutes before the actual earnings call starts. Are you being sarcastic, Fireworks? Are you attacking my dad's skills, bro? I think it's a good dad thing, bro. Listen, I'm gonna buy my son a Charizard, and I'm gonna let him sit on it for 5 or 10 years. And if that thing's worth something in 10 years, boom, he's got some college money or something. At least that was my idea. And if it's not worth anything, it's not a big L that I'm taking. Anyways, I'll be ready. Earnings call starts in about 3 minutes. All right, we are waiting for the actual earnings call to start. Are you going to teach your kids how to trade? Probably. If they're into it. Like I said, I'm not going to force them to trade. I've tried to teach my daughter how to trade. She's 13. She could care less about it. And so I'm not going to force them to. But if they want to learn, I'll teach them. Yeah, the direct registration numbers are going to be important for sure, 100%. And I think Ryan's going to be on the call too. GameStop almost up to 2250s. Right, exactly, Kieran. Again, my idea with the Pokemon thing is like, look, I just want to get my son interested in investing. I think one of the easiest ways to do it is let him see rare collectibles of things that he's interested in, like Pokemon. He's into Pokemon. I ended up buying like a Dark Gyarados as well, and like a bunch of other cards. Like I'm a huge nerd, so they brought me to that store. I bought a bunch of crap. but yeah, my idea is just to get him interested in investing as a whole. And if I could do that through Pokemon, buying him Pokemon cards, bro, he is so proud of those Pokemon cards, dude. They're up in his room. They're PSA graded as well. He's telling all his friends about it. And so if I can spark some interest, in investing and speculating on investments in that way, cool. Oh, bro, I go to GameStop all the time. My son loves GameStop, bro. My son is all about GameStop. Trust me. And again, I'm support. I bring him there. I buy stuff. Every time we go to GameStop, he's again, it reminds me of when I was a kid. I used to go to GameStop, So he goes, trust me. But GameStop doesn't have Pokemon cards. So, I mean, that's the problem. All right, guys, it's 4 o'clock. We're going to mute the music and get ready here. All right, still patiently waiting for the call to start. We're in the hold room right now, so bear with me. Yeah, Jeremy. Hey, you know then, dude. Bro, I used to sit out at the bus stop slanging Pokemon cards, bro. That's what everybody like. Everybody that grew up in the mid '90s in the heat of Pokemon, bro. If I would have kept my Pokemon cards as a kid, I would be rich, rich. I had Series One Charizard holographic. I had the Japanese Charizard that's worth like six figures right now. Like I'd be rich right now. If I think my mom threw them out one time a long time ago. Anyways, GameStop still hasn't started it yet. We're just waiting. My GameStops don't have Pokemon cards, unfortunately. All right, we're sitting here waiting for the call to start. It might be about to start. Hold on. Nope. Waiting, guys. We're waiting for the earnings call to actually start. We got over 700 people here. If you haven't already, guys, hit the subscribe button. All right, just take the time. It might feel good. Try it one time. Everybody's doing it. Try it one time. All right, I think it's about to start right now. All right, there it goes. Sound check. How's the sound? Let me know if it's good or not. Sound check.
Please note that certain statements made during the call constitute forward-looking statements made pursuant to the safe harbor provisions of the Private Securities Litigation Act of 1995, as amended. Such forward-looking statements are subject to both known and unknown risks and uncertainties that could cause actual results to differ materially from such statements. These risks and uncertainties are described in the company's earnings press release and its filings with the SEC. The forward-looking statements today are made as of the date of this call, and the company does not undertake any obligation to update the forward-looking statements. I will now turn the call over to GameStop CEO, Matt Furlong.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to begin by acknowledging the dedication and focus of the teams managing our stores, fulfillment centers, and e-commerce platforms. As the holiday season begins, they are going the extra mile and working exceptionally hard to deliver for our customers. I also want to take the opportunity to acknowledge our stockholders who continue to demonstrate unrivaled enthusiasm and support. As we work to transform the company and do something unprecedented in the retail sector, that sustained passion is a major tailwind for us. Similar to last quarter, I'm going to spend some time at the outset of this call recapping where we've been, where we are now, and where we're looking to go. Throughout 2021 and 2022, we were extremely focused on repairing our decayed foundation, reestablishing a culture of operational intensity, and setting the right long-term priorities. This translated to building a strong balance sheet, modernizing a crumbling infrastructure, and putting together teams that are now able to operate with the nimbleness and efficiency our stockholders and customers expect. Today, we're in the process of aligning corporate costs to our go-forward needs after completing the majority of necessary upgrades to our systems, fulfillment capabilities, and overall foundation. A large portion of our cost cuts will stem from reductions in corporate headcount that have been made during the back half of this calendar year. In some cases, individuals who helped us complete key initiatives have left on their own accord and are not being replaced. In other cases, we've made the decision to eliminate or streamline parts of the organization where we can leverage the work completed over the past 18 months to operate with increased efficiency. We now have a firm understanding of the resources required to pursue opportunities in gaming, as well as high potential growth categories like collectibles and pre-owned businesses. Looking ahead, we have two overarching priorities: achieving profitability in the near term and driving pragmatic growth over the long term. Now that the necessary investments have been made and we have identified the aforementioned opportunity set, we're going to be very judicious with respect to how we allocate capital to the core business. Maintaining a sizable cash position will maximize our optionality and keep us strong against a challenging economic backdrop. If a strategic asset or complementary business becomes available in the right price range, we want to be able to explore those acquisitions. As a result of these steps and our planning, we believe GameStop is well positioned heading into 2023. We stand to benefit from our strong cash position, lack of debt, healthy inventory mix, shrinking cost structure, and disciplined focus on categories where we have competitive positioning. We are also fortunate that the company's exposure to digital assets has been very modest thanks to risk management efforts. The company has proactively minimized exposure to cryptocurrency risk throughout the year and does not currently hold a material balance of any token. Although we continue to believe there is long-term potential for digital assets in the gaming world, we have not and will not risk meaningful stockholder capital in the space. Let me now turn to our financial results for Q3. Net sales were $1.186 billion for the quarter, compared to $1.297 billion in the prior year's third quarter. Approximately $50 million of the decline is attributable to FX. Sales attributable to new and expanded brand relationships remained strong. Likewise, sales in the collectibles category remained strong on a year-to-date basis. SG&A was $387.9 million, or 32.7% of sales, compared to $421.5 million, or 32.5% of sales in last year's third quarter. Notably, SG&A as a percentage of revenue was down on a sequential basis from 34.1% in Q2 of this year. We've also taken additional steps in recent weeks to further reduce SG&A on a go-forward basis, now that significant improvements have been made to the core business. We reported a net loss of $94.7 million, or 31 cents per diluted share, compared to a net loss of $105.4 million, or 35 cents in the prior year's third quarter. As with SG&A, we saw a healthy reduction in our net loss on a sequential basis versus Q2 of this year. Turning to the balance sheet, we ended the quarter with cash, cash equivalents, and marketable securities of $1.042 billion. We continue to maintain a strong cash position while sustaining strong in-stock levels for the busy holiday season. With respect to inventory, we have strengthened our position in recent months by divesting a small percentage of merchandise that was acquired late in 2021 and early in 2022. Divestitures occurred in categories seeing soft customer demand over multiple quarters. Inventory was $1.131 billion at the close of Q3, compared to $1.141 billion at the close of the prior year's third quarter. At the close of the reporting period, we had no borrowings under our ABL facility and no debt other than a low-interest, unsecured term loan associated with the French government's response to COVID-19. Capital expenditures for the quarter were $13 million, up $0.5 million from last year's third quarter. We anticipate CapEx will remain at similar or reduced levels now that the company has largely completed its period of heavy investment. In the third quarter, cash flow provided by operations was $177.3 million, compared to an outflow of $293.7 million during the same period last year. In terms of an outlook, we're not providing formal guidance at this time. It is worth reiterating, however, that our goal is to achieve profitability in the near term. I want to finish by reiterating what we've said in the past. We're attempting to accomplish something unprecedented in the retail sector. We're seeking to transform a legacy brick-and-mortar business that was on the brink of bankruptcy into a retailer that meets customers' needs through our stores, e-commerce properties, and emerging sales channels. This path carries risk and is taking time, but it is the path we are on. With that said, GameStop is a stronger business today than at any time in the recent past. I'll leave it there for this quarter. Thank you.
This concludes today's conference. Thank you for your participation. You may now disconnect.
All right, guys. So that is the GameStop earnings call. Let me know what you guys think about it. Calls or puts, bull or bears. Let me know. Yeah, I mean, I know Brady is better than Drew Brees, but as a Saints fan, nobody remind me about the last Bucs game versus the Saints. I'm just going to keep on holding on to Joey Burrow over there at the Bengals. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about GameStop. Remember, guys, tomorrow we have jobless claims numbers that are going to influence markets and be a gauge of what inflation is currently looking like. We got PPI, which is the producer price index that drops Friday. And so that's relevant to watch and pay attention to as well. We've got CPI and the Fed rate hike decision next week. Those are all going to be pretty wildly influential. Y'all do me a favor and hit the subscribe button if you have not already. Hit the notification bell. We appreciate you all. Also, team, we're going to be pivoting to another show in about 5 minutes. We're going to kind of give you a breakdown on what we got going on the next week. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about the GameStop earnings call. Again, they didn't say much. They never really do a Q&A. They never really do guidance or anything like that. And so that I didn't really expect them to do that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Yeah, we got this video dropping in about 4 minutes, so be ready for that. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. Appreciate you guys joining us here today. Yeah, it's fast. Chat again. Let me know what you guys think. Bear Bull, let me know. Yeah, they didn't announce anything about the DRS numbers. Yeah, for sure. DRS tanking tomorrow. I don't know. GameStop, honestly, GameStop, here's the optimistic side of it, okay? GameStop has not really done that bad relative to what their earnings actually were. You know, GameStop missed by a pretty big margin. They had worse than expected sales revenue. And so in that regard, they didn't do that bad. Like, they're not looking that rough relative to that. You know, they're not looking that bad relative to what they could have been. They did miss a lot, but, you know, optimistic for the future. I think that's a good thing to look at. I'm a bull on GameStop. We'll see if it continues going up. I know if you look at like AMC here, and the market has been pretty tough as a whole. I can't really knock on GameStop too much considering the latest market. AMC went all the way down to $6 again and then bounced right off of it at 609s. Didn't sound like terrible news. Yeah, I mean, the call always ends pretty quick. It's never very long. If you guys have been in any GameStop call, it's never long at all. It's always very, very, very short, very, very, very quick. They never do a Q&A. They never do give out guidance or anything like that. It's just kind of how they go. You know, that's how these calls happen. So, again, remember, guys, we are going to be covering a lot of stuff this week. We got a video debuting. You know, in about 2.5 minutes that goes over what we have dropping this week. And again, we while we're here, we got over 700 people still here. Don't forget to subscribe. Everything we do here is free. We don't charge a penny for any of it. We don't claim to be experts. We don't act like a guru. We don't sell courses or services or anything like that. We just got to put everything out there for free without claiming to be an expert or a guru. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Also, guys, another thing to check out Chart Prime. Chart Prime's got a pretty big sale going on right now. I like using it on the S&P 500. And if you look at Chart Prime using the S&P 500, it's pretty accurate in terms of like what I really like to use it for is I like to gauge tops and bottoms. If you look at Chart Prime today, it was incredibly effective, right? So here's Chart Prime. You can see it. What I like to do, and one of the ways that really works here with Chart Prime is when you put up when you look for multiple ones to show up at once, right? If you can get a lot of them to show up at once, it can just be really powerful and really effective. And let me show you what I mean by that. Okay, so if you look at this here, let me get my drawer up. This is a lot of bearish engulfing candles all at once. We get a huge drop afterwards. This next one, we had a possible reversal up signal, which is a proprietary algorithm, and a bullish engulfing candle. We get a nice rip. This thing called the direct top of this, you can see possible reversal down. All these bearish engulfing candles show up all at once. We get some nice drops. And so I look like John Madden over here. But yeah, y'all check out Chart Prime. It's a trading view indicator service. Can be really useful. You can use it in stocks, crypto, Forex, and futures. Great way to help support the channel. And they do have their biggest sale going on right now where you can get it for 20% off or 40% off or something crazy actually like that. So again, if you want to check out Chart Prime, I will post this link. Again, great way to help support the channel. You can also find all of that stuff in the description. You can check out Top Step as well. Top Step is a funded account program in futures. And so if you want to get around the PDT rule, check that out. I'll put this link in chat. And with that said, in about 45 seconds, we have our video dropping. So y'all check that out. But yeah, check out Chart Prime. Again, Top Step has a 30% off deal. There goes GameStop starting to pop up. It's at $22.60. So GameStop over the volume weighted average price, green relative to when they dropped their earnings. And so they're still doing pretty good. Again, as soon as we close this stream, it's immediately going to redirect you to another screen we got going on or another video talking about what's going on with Top Step, what's going on with the next week. We got jobless claims. We got PPI on Friday. We got CPI and the rate hike decision on Thursday. And so again, y'all be ready for that. Again, this is going to cover all of it. It's premiering in about 5 seconds. Again, as soon as we close down the stream, it should redirect you over to that one. And so again, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and yeah, we'll watch this video real quick. But yeah, GameStop looking good at 22.60s. right now, guys, at 2260. So it's looking pretty solid. Let me know if you guys think it'll keep this up. Let me make sure this is starting first. Okay, yeah. So anyways, guys, we're going to go ahead and go over to the premiere of the video. Love you all. See you guys in a little bit.